Good morning. Today's topic is how Joe Biden's campaign is falling apart and he doesn't even realize it. Um, David Axelrod said Monday morning that if Joe doesn't step aside, that he's going to lose to Trump in a landslide. He then went on to say it won't even be close. When you lose David Axelrod, that's a big sign. David Axelrod is a former Obama campaign strategist and advisor, and he worked in the Obama White House. Okay, and then in about a week before that, James Carville said that he personally called the Biden campaign advisors and told him stop all the lawsuits against Trump because you're making Trump a martyr. He was told, we know what we're doing. So they basically brushed him aside. And he told them, when Trump gets elected, I don't want to hear you complain because it's your fault. This is a big deal. You have two huge Democrat advisors saying, you need to step aside or you're going to lose in a landslide. And Joe is too stubborn to realize that this is what he needs to do. Also, over the weekend, Mark Halperin on his YouTube page said Joe Biden has already been replaced. That they had a meeting last week and that it was the consensus of 300 Democratic legislators in Washington that Joe Biden needs to step aside. And he said that the only person that can take over is Kamala, because Kamala's already on the ticket, and so she would get the campaign money. If they pick somebody new, they don't get any of the campaign money. He said the campaign finance laws are clear. And he said also Kamala wants to be president. That ought to be scary to most of us. And he also said that if they pass over Kamala, that the black female delegates will literally blow up the party. They will feel that the party has turned racist because they are talking about putting a white man on the ticket, at the top of the ticket, and they're passing over the first black female vice president. He said it will be ugly. So then on his YouTube page Monday, he said that they were having a meeting. The meeting was held yesterday, Tuesday, and that in the meeting they would decide how much time to give Joe to prove that he could do another 4 years. And from the news reports that I heard, that the meeting was split 50-50 and that they gave Joe until the weekend to get out. And Joe said he's not going anywhere. So that's a problem, because he's very, very ill. I mean, there was a doctor on NBC yesterday that said he can look at Joe Biden walk and diagnose him with Parkinson's because he has all the outward symptoms. He said people with Parkinson's shuffle when they walk. They don't turn, their head, if you call them, they turn their whole body. He said they start to talk quietly. He said Joe Biden exhibits all these things. He said plus they forget their train of thought. Joe Biden also has that. He said, so I can look at him in a video and look for these markers, and if the markers are there, then say he has Parkinson's. Okay, to follow that up, the White House visitor log shows that the Parkinson's expert from Walter Reed has been to see Joe 8 times in the last year. And in January of this year, he arrived with 4 other doctors, one of them a heart specialist, at 5 p.m. and stayed until midnight. And then Kareem yesterday said that no, that was just his annual physical. He sees a neurologist once a year at his annual physical. The White House logs don't lie. You have to sign in, and it's public record that this Dr. Kennard signed in to see the president 8 times in the last year. So that is a number of huge problems, along with his stubbornness and saying he won't get out, that he will be here until God calls him. And these are all huge problems. But our country suffers because of it. Because he's too incompetent and too stubborn to realize it, and he has people behind him pushing him to get out there and do more, and it's just crazy. So that's all I have for you today. Talk to you guys again soon. Bye now.